Hi, Stamper fans! Welcome to another Make It Monday. I am Nan Gerlitz, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Bloomington, Illinois, and I am live here on my Facebook page every Monday night at 7 p.m. Central Time. So tonight I have a fun, easy card for you. It's a great layout that you could use like any kind of designer paper, or you could even like make your own designer paper, right? Pattern paper. And you could totally do this design. So it's a super fun one, especially heading into Christmas season where most of us tend to make like oodles of cards. And so we need something that's easy and duplicatable. So hello, hello, Penny. So glad you are here with us tonight. So I've got some good tips for you tonight. I've got a fun little ribbon trick that, if you haven't seen it before, is super, super mind-blowing, and a great way to deal with ribbon, especially if you're challenged as far as like bow making and things like that. So got that for you. Let's go ahead and switch the view so we can craft and chat at the same time. So first of all, this is the card we'll be making tonight, but I wanted to congratulate again the Stamper Man on his like blowout win. Like, it's like my team didn't even show up to the stadium. But such vibrant colors, and I love the vellum wings. So this particular suite of products, which is called, I believe, the Be Mine Suite Collection, this was a little perk that demonstrators who registered for next month's virtual onstage event, we got to purchase this suite early if we wanted. You didn't have to. So, and I wanted. So we have this new suite. It's got designer paper. It's got the cool bees stamp set. It's got a builder punch that punches out the bee and the wings and hearts and things. Oh, and there's ribbon and cute little embellishments too that he didn't even use on here. So there's even more to come. But this suite is actually not available until January in the new mini catalog that's coming out then. So that's just one of the cool perks. And I love this fun fold as well. That is one of the cool perks of being a demonstrator is you get to order product early before anybody else. You get to see it before anybody else. So that's always cool. And we do have that starter kit special still going through tomorrow, Halloween. No trick, just treats. So definitely, if you've ever thought about it, now's a good time. We'll chat more about that as I'm going on. Woohoo! It is beautiful. It's, yeah, definitely well deserved. It's that great punch of color too. It always is so eye-catching in photos. So since we do all the Friday night stamping is just photos, the ones that are more colorful a lot of times do tend to do better, which is fine. So this particular card, I wanted to feature the Walk in the Forest Designer Series paper. So I'll be showing you that tonight because it is our Make a Difference product this time. Stinking cute little bee. We called it I went to another demonstrators meeting last month and they were calling it the chubby bee, which it's like a chubby bee. I love it. So, but lots of other things I think we can do with that punch and with those images. So that'll be too fun to mess around with. So you'll be seeing more of the bee, I'm sure, in the next few months. I'll probably start working it in more in December to really give you an idea of what you can do with it. So, but the Walk in the Forest designer paper, let me just grab it and show you all the cool designs that are in there. It is a 12 by 12 designer paper, and it comes with 12 sheets, 2 each of 6 two-sided designs. It's hard to remember numbers sometimes. So it's like, how do I say this? So the Walk in the Forest, like I said, is our Make a Difference product for the mini catalog. So basically till the end of the year. $3 from the purchase of every pack of this paper is going to go to the Toys for Tots organization. So I love that Stampin' Up! Does this. They pick in their the mini catalog we're in right here. It is. Like I had it out. The basically the fall winter mini catalog here in the US. This is September through December. So in this particular mini catalog, every year they release one product that's a Make a Difference product, and they pick a different organization or type of thing that needs help. It's a Monday, guys. Words are hard. But they pick some theme every year to help organizations with that theme. So I think last year it was, I don't know, in past years there's been heart associations, there's been mental health organizations. Last year was food scarcity. That's correct. I remember now. So lots of really great organizations. And what they've started doing the last few years, since we are a global company, is they pick like an organization in each market. So in the US, it'll be Toys for Tots, but in the South Pacific, it might be a different organization, because I don't know if Toys for Tots exists there, but it'll be something like that. And it's easy to miss this particular product because it's basically on the second page of the catalog, and it's just kind of boom. It's not with a suite of products or stamp set or anything else. Although I believe the bear punch from the Berry Christmas will punch out some of these bears. So pretty cute tie in there. Coordination, it's what Stampin' Up! Does best. So, but this particular paper, super, super cute. And so they always tell you a little bit about the community. They're in, let's see, to help make the holidays merry and bright for everyone. They will support organizations dedicated to spreading cheer and providing support for those in need, hence the Toys for Tots. So I definitely recommend getting the Walk in the Forest paper, but because it's not really featured too well, I thought it'd be good to get. I like to get a pack anyway because it's supporting, but this way I can show you the whole design. So you've got cool bears and trees, which, like I said, will coordinate with the Berry Christmas suite of products as well. And then on the other side, so you can see that cool subtle tree pattern. And then we've got the holly berries. And then just the evergreen needles, the things that I basically step on in my backyard all the time and when I'm barefoot. Then we've got our pine cones and boughs and basically snow, but it's just white dots. So you could make it be anything. It could be a birthday paper. You have plans for all that green, huh, Penny? What kind of plans do you have? I want to know. Or is it a secret? Again, the bear, love him, so cute, and lots of snowflakes and everything. And then stripes. I am a big fan of stripes. Always love the stripe paper I always make. This is the one we are using tonight. So you've got the blue trees and then the snowflakes on the other side. There we go. Your cards involve wreaths this year. That sounds like a lot of die cutting, probably. Or piecing things together. And then you've got multicolored trees as well with more stripes. So again, this is just hues of green in stripes. So you could use that for anything. Be great for some masculine cards. I just dropped all of those on my toe. Excuse me for a moment. Oh, I did not have enough room there. Okay. So that is the paper that we're talking about tonight, the Walk in the Forest. It is fabulous. It is, of course, in the supply list that is linked in the video description. So if you want to go find that, you can find that. You get all my little supplies out here. Oh, I've got another little tip, too, for you tonight for when you don't have a layering piece. So let's see, Penny. Die cutting, layering, yep. So my friend Penny here does a fabulous assembly line. It's a family event making their Christmas cards. It's great. She always, she designs it and then cuts it down like Henry Ford down into an assembly line. So one person's in charge of die cutting and the next person's in charge of stamping and the next person's in charge of, embossing or whatever it is. And eventually people are putting things together and she does a fine job. Okay, so we are going to use the Trucking Along stamp set just because I wanted the greeting. So really, any Christmas greeting or whatever greeting you want would work. It's mostly the paper we are concentrating on. I'm just using a thick white base and then a scrap of white. Now, on my sample from Friday, I used the deckled circles. You can kind of see that. Today, I just used the 2 3/8 inch circle punch. So either way you want to go. You could always make it a diamond or a different punch if you want. And I do have some alternatives to show you at the end using the same layout with different papers and things like that. So you'll see what I mean. Okay, let us start with the cut. So I've got just a basic 4-inch by 5 1/4 inch card front. So your first layer in from a card front, right? So I just want to have the white border all the way around, okay? And then I'm going to take this paper and from the bottom of it, so if you have one that has an orientation to it and it's not just an all over pattern that doesn't matter which way it goes. So this goes this way. So from the bottom, I want to cut 2.5 inches up for the one I've made. And then we're going to flip that over, and that's how we get that 2 designs. Because I love that our designer paper has coordinating designs on the back. That's awesome. Saves me so much time and headache. So here's, okay, I'm using my non-Stampin' Up! Product here. Because I didn't have another layer to put this on, I'm just going to use Scotch tape. So I've turned it over to the back. Just going to make sure these are butted up against each other. And I'm just holding it together with Scotch tape. And now I'm going to wind my ribbon around. And we are using the iridescent ribbon, which, holy moly, that's just a lot of glimmer, shimmer goodness right there. Love it. And for this, I'm going with my tear and tape because you guys all know I love to do my tear and tape with ribbon. So if you don't have tear and tape, you certainly could attach this with Scotch tape if you want. I like the tear and tape because I can then remove the backing and it'll also help hold the ribbon to the card base. So it's a good adhesive. We're going to pop that down on that side. Wind it around so it's just going to cover the seam where those where I made that cut. Okay, so my tear and tape's going to hold that down really well, and I can just cut that off. I have wasted no ribbon, and I didn't have to try and hold it steady while I tied a knot or anything. And you're saying, but wait, there's a knot on the front of that card. Yes, there is. That's my trick I'm going to show you. So let's get some Stampin' Seal. Put a little top and bottom on here. And again, because I've got that tear and tape on there, I can just take that backing off. And that is what it's going to hold the sides with that ribbon to the card front. So I can flip that over. Okay. So now what I want to do, let me show you how to make what we call a cheater knot or a cheater bow. It's not really a bow, but we kind of tend to call it a cheater bow. So it's very important that you don't attach your ribbon to the front. So you have, it's all just a gap here, right? So you're just going to slide that guy under there, tie one knot. You can adjust it however you want, give it a little trim. Don't cut your fingers. I've done it way too many times. Now, the part I love about this is that because it's just tied around there, you can, you can move this knot up and down that ribbon wherever you need it. So if you decide you want your sentiment over here, you could go ahead and do that. Or you can pop it back over this way, like I'm going to do, and have it here. So if when I put my sentiment on here, this is in the way of it, I could just move it around. It's fabulous. So you're not stuck with something any place, and you don't have to get it perfect when you tie it and then like wiggle it around and all that. You just slide it up and down the ribbon right to where you need it. I love that. Okay, sentiment time. Also need a little extra piece of that. I meant to cut it out of, here it is. I meant to cut it out of the piece I had. That's okay. Okay. I do not have the big pretty peacock ink pad yet. I think it might be the next one we get because it's in a lot of our designer papers. So we're going to need it. That's for sure. Is it this one? Nope. That's wishing you sunny thoughts, which I guess if it's snowy trees, it would be nice to wish somebody sunny thoughts, wouldn't it? There it is. Festive Christmas. So yes, but I got this spot in one of our paper pumpkin kits, I don't know, a couple months back. So it's nice that I have pretty peacock ink because those dark trees are pretty peacock trees. Voila. Beautiful, beautiful. I love it when a plan comes together. That's all the stamping that's going on. And I know you're saying, where'd those trees come from? Yeah, the designer paper. Good morning, Joan. Thanks for joining us. There it is. You guys, seriously, it looks like an explosion happened on my little video table. It's not a very big surface I have right here. So I do tend to put things to the side, but I never know where I actually put something down. So what I did, because I didn't have anything to really flesh out that big circle I had, right? I just took my little snips and I went, oh, I need a couple of trees. So I will just cut out a couple of trees. And these are super small. And so you're thinking, oh my gosh, I can't believe she's fussy cutting them. Well, the cool thing is, since they're super small, there's not a lot to cut. And, you just have to do an okay job at it. It's kind of nice because you've got a little bit of a blue background there, which will stand out against the white circle. But that's also a really good point when you're working with designer paper. If you don't have a stamp set that like matches it, right? You didn't get the rest of the suite maybe because it didn't speak to you or you're on a budget, whatever. You can just cut little images out of your designer paper to go with the rest of your stuff. So you really just need like some sentiments. So if you're just getting started, that's a great way to start. Pick out your favorite designer paper, get a stamp set with some sentiments in it, and grab colors that go with your designer paper, and boom, you're ready to go. Oh, yes. Frost on the windshield for sure. I had a couple of leaves frozen to my windshield. Not happy. It's not good. But mine went away pretty quickly. So it's much milder down here than it is where we used to live, where Penny is. So I will say. And then Joan, I was watching Lucia's live at my lunch hour today. And, here she's talking about spring cleaning and the weather's so nice. And I'm like, it's just getting really cold for us. So like not so much on the spring cleaning here. All right, I think we're going to put one up here. Just kind of gauging where my ribbon is falling. And I know I can adjust it, but, Yeah, I'm kind of like so many Americans go to like Florida or Texas for the winter. Maybe I'll go to Australia for the winter. That sounds like a better plan. So then I can hang out with you and Lucia. Let's pop one down here. That looks fun. Okay, so now here's my other little tip. So when I first was trying to figure this out, I realized I don't have Pretty Peacock paper either, and that's cardstock, and that's what I wanted to go around this. I wanted it to have a darker border to really give it show it off a little bit, right? Set it off from the rest of the card. So I grabbed my little sponge dauber and my Pretty Peacock stamp pad, and I just went around the edges. So you're literally just flicking it. You can also, on our regular pads, so this is like a felt pad like most other companies have, but our regular large pads are firm foam pads, so they're a little squishy and kind of juicy. And you could actually just kind of walk the edge of it around on the pad and get a similar effect with our large pads. But this gave me the nice matte kind of look that I was going for in the color I was going for, even though I didn't have that cardstock. So another really nice tip for y'all. Oh, excuse me, I need a drink of water. And some dimensionals, of course. So I'm curious if anybody is dressing up for Halloween tomorrow. I love Halloween, my favorite holiday. I was in plays and stuff when I was a kid, when I was in high school and whatnot. So I just love dressing up as other people, apparently. But plus there's candy, so like I'm all about the chocolate. So what's not to like about this holiday, right? Like you dress up as somebody else. You get to go door to door and basically say, give me chocolate. This is a great holiday. So I'll be dressing up tomorrow. I'm wondering if any of you are dressing up tomorrow for work. We actually got an email at work reminding us that we're all encouraged to wear costumes tomorrow. I'm like, I love this place. Oh, it's too funny. All right, so there we go. And I decided not to even add any bling to it Friday night, which is weird, right? Like, no, I was going to do rhinestones, but I couldn't decide exactly where. Although I could have put them in the middle of the snowflakes. That would be pretty. So that's an option. But if you're making like dozens of these for Christmas cards, how simple is that, right? So, Penny, I'm betting you're dressing up for work tomorrow. My buddy Penny works at a library as well, at the library I used to work at, as a matter of fact. So that's how we met. And she usually dresses up for Halloween. So I love it. That is a cute library book idea. Read more books. I've seen that one. I love it. I will be in my traditional Harry Potter garb. I will be Ravenclaw, of course. So we book people. We're Ravenclaws. So so that is what I will be tomorrow. So I've got a couple of alternatives for you today too. This is one of the other sheets in there. You'll notice that I did a layered look here because I used the old olive, so I had that cardstock. And if you also notice, I put the old olive underneath the ribbon, and then the white was on dimensionals above the ribbon. So that's a cute little detail. That's just a little something different, right? So fun. And then I used the holly berries, and instead of ribbon at all, I used a little like 1/4 inch of cardstock. So I pulled out my cherry cobbler and just put that right over the seam where the paper meets. And I think, yes, I cut this one at 2 1/4 inch instead of 2 1/2. So it's a little smaller on the bottom, and then went with the double oval punch. And then I went for something, you Monty Python fans, completely different, and pulled out my Inked Botanicals designer papers, which I love, and that new hexagon punch, which we definitely love. And this is where I did I just kind of walked it over my ink pad just on the edges. So I didn't do a layer because I don't have a next layer up punch. And while I could have cut it like I showed you a couple weeks ago, I decided to just do that subtle Lost Lagoon on the edge. So there are my fun alternatives for you as well. So as you can see, you can get a lot of mileage out of this layout all year long. Birthdays, thank yous, invitations, Valentine's. Like use heart punches for the Valentines, it'd be perfect. You could use a really frilly ribbon instead, and heart embellishments, all sorts of things like that. So with the B suite, now that I think about it, because it's got hearts. So you might be seeing this layout again. So thank you, Penny. Thank you, Joan. Yeah, I absolutely loved the way this turned out. I did talk a little bit earlier about it being tomorrow's the last day of our starter kit promotion, which for our 35th year, it's Stampin' Up's 35th birthday this year. And so you can either take 35% off the cost of the starter kit, or you can pay the regular price and get 35% more products. It is a great deal, like seriously ridiculous deal. I don't know when I've seen a deal that's good on it. But for me, if you're taking the 35% off, it's a little under $65 you're paying. So if you're going to order $65 or more in product, why wouldn't you instead get the starter kit and pick out $125 worth of product for that same price? Pay tax and get free shipping as well. So it's just a really, really great. Love is what brings us together today. It's a really great deal, and I obviously wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't try to get you the most value, right? I don't want to keep these kind of things to myself. I want you to know about them. So that goes on through tomorrow, Halloween. And, oh, that was the other thing. So the last thing I wanted to share with you is, well, I'm going to tease you with it. For our virtual event that's coming up next month, when I registered, I got a free gift box. And so that came in the mail over the weekend. It is like thick, guys. Look at that. It's like loaded with goodies. So this week at some point, I will either post pictures or I will go live. I haven't decided yet. But I will show you what's inside this sweet box and see all the goodies I got. Another perk for being a demonstrator. You get to have events, and I also get to see my good friend Penny and our teammates Chris and probably Betty and maybe Mary. We're all going to get together and watch the event together and stamp along with each other, and it'll be super, super fun. We did this last year as well, and it's just great to stamp together with people. There's always lots of laughter. You have to have tissues around because we laugh so much we cry, you know. So I wholly invite you to join our team and come join all the fun that we have. I'm looking forward to it too, Penny. All right, that is it for me tonight, friends. So if you, let me pop up here. Hey there. If you learned a little something new tonight, if you liked my little ribbon trick or that cool little trick for giving a pretend mat to your circles and things like that, go ahead and share the video so that your friends and family can also learn these new little tips and tricks. And until next week, I'm still Nan Gurwitz. Happy stamping.